Alright, I'm going to give you another garden update. It is August 9th now. Lots going on, lots of beautiful growth. And it's been a while, so let me show you what's going on down there. The garden's actually in the backyard. So it's a south-facing backyard. This is where we're growing everything. Alright, so we come on down the stairs. We're still making this a cool place. I just installed these solar lights. Here's my fermented fish. There's one of my composters, our compost tumbler. That's where almost all of our kitchen scraps go. Over here on this side I have blackberry. These have been delicious. Golden raspberries. It's a young plant, so it hasn't produced yet. Over on this side we have a tomato plant that's pretty darn huge. So if I'm 5.5 feet tall, I'm reaching 8 or 9 feet tall. This is a 9-foot tomato plant. It's a pretty big tomato plant. My 4-year-old girl loves the red ones, so she pretty much has dibs on that plant. There's chamomile in here. There's a summer squash right here. That's a type of zucchini. Figs here and there. This one's pretty cool. So this is just a fire pit. It's just galvanized metal, but it's like corrugated, whatever that word is. It looks like my nice expensive ones. It's just a lot cheaper. This is an artichoke. I got a bunch of artichokes out of the one last year. It died back in the heat of the summer, so I hacked it down, and these are little babies coming up. First thing I want to point out is that humongous tomato plant. I have to get a measurement on that. I don't even know, 12 feet tall. It's a humongous tomato plant. Then there's eggplant all around it. Let's show you some eggplants. Look at all these little baby fingerling type eggplants. This is Violetta Lunga. This is a really good one for me in my backyard. This has been a productive one. I think that'll be a winner forever. Same thing with right here, Rosa Bianca. The Rosa Bianca always does well for me. This is the second year in a row I've been growing it. The Rosa Bianca is a good one for me. This one is a different one. Oh, it's also Violetta Lunga. See? Yep, that's definitely a productive plant for me. And I have 4 or 5 different varieties, and there's really only 2 producing fruit right now. The 2 I just described. There's a white eggplant. There's a, I can't remember them all. Maybe I'll list them for the video. There's couple little squash on there. I'll show you the figs. Here's some figs. I love figs, and my wife is Greek, so it just makes sense to have a bunch of figs around. Let's finish on this side. Let's do this area. So this one and this one are 2 different types of basil. I actually have 4 different types of basil in here. They're going to flower, but that's okay. The bees love it. I love the bees. My sunflowers are absolutely beautiful. There's almost 30 heads in here between, I think I only planted 2 or 3 sunflowers. But look, they come up and they branch and they have multiple heads. This one is gold coin sunflowers. Aren't they pretty? Marigolds. Here's more of the basil. Beans in here. This one is dragon's tongue bean. This one gets huge. We also have purple TP in here, skinnier one. What else to show in that bed? Nothing to show in there. Over here, I built this humongous trellis hardcore because I knew passion fruit was really heavy. I ate passion fruit at the farmer's market and it was delicious. But this one just isn't delicious. It's a little bit of a letdown. I've put all this work into this passion fruit and it's not very good. But we do love grapes, so I'm going to use this awesome trellis and grow grapes instead. It's funny, the way I've been harvesting most all of them is just look on the ground. Just look on the ground for ones that have fallen. That's how you know they're super ripe. Either way, I'm getting rid of it. Blueberries over here. I have nasturtium going all over here. Like this is a perfect example. Like look how nasty that is. Can you see that? Those are aphids. That's exactly why I plant nasturtium, because it's a sacrificial plant. So look right next to it. There's not aphids on these pepper plants literally right next to it, practically literally touching it, because the aphids prefer that. So if I didn't have the nasturtium here, those aphids would be on my peppers. So that's why you plant nasturtiums nearby. This is my pepper bed. Orange bell peppers, those are delicious. I love paprika in the kitchen, so I'm growing four paprika plants, 2 different varieties. So this one's the Magyar. I can actually harvest some of these. I'll harvest these in a second. This one, the fatter one next to it, is the Loot Shower. Here's some ripe ones of the Loot Shower. Here's the Loot Shower paprika. Let's do all the peppers. Different variety over here. This one is the habanada, so it's habanero. It's bred from the habanero. It looks like a habanero, except for habanada, it has 0 heat. These ones ripen to orange, and I've been eating them right off the plant as soon as they turn orange. Look how many peppers there are. Oh my goodness. There's no ripe ones to show. There's a bug damaged one. Oh well, that's okay. Poblanos. Shishitas. This has been a wonderfully productive shishita pepper down here, even in the partial shade from all the other bigger ones. Anaheim. There's some big Anaheim peppers in here. Oh, they're turning colors. They're starting to ripen. We need to come in here and harvest a whole bunch of these and can them or do something with all these peppers. More Anaheim. Here, these yellow ones is lemon spice jalapenos. My wife loves cowgirl candy, so I'm going to make her lemon spice cowgirl candy. I guess that should bring us to the trellis. I just discovered, maybe I'll include a clip, rat damage of my big beautiful tomatoes. That was a really big bummer. I have to figure out how to deter rats. I have Castelluto Genovese right here. I have Lemon Boy tomatoes right next to it. Orange peach next to that, but I don't think, oh, here's the orange peach, but I haven't got a ripe orange peach yet. Cucumbers. These cucumbers are kind of off the hook. But my favorite under this trellis are these black futsu. Oh man, that's really digging in there. I have to do something about that. Oh, that's just forming to it. That's really dope. See, the weight of it is just sitting on the 2x4 and it's kind of forming around it. But I have all these big, beautiful squash just hanging. I'm really happy with this. I've actually never ate it, but it sounded delicious. A bunch of them. I'll show you. Really proud of that squash. Right next to it, I have, which one? Oh yeah, Solar Flare tomato. That one's beautiful and delicious. Oh my goodness. Now, let me show you. I'll show you 2 things with this one. That's how it's supposed to look. See how beautiful that is? Orange and yellows. But that's what the freaking rats have been doing. Freaking rats. Now I don't want to eat any of that because they introduce bacteria and who knows what in there, so I can't eat any of that. That's a bummer. So maybe I can harvest this one from me. I just gotta harvest them as soon as they start to turn yellow, or turn to as soon as they start to ripen. That's a cool one. That'll go in the bag. Oops. I always bring baggies with me when I come out to the garden. Rosemary. Oh my gosh! I didn't even know about this squash over here. That's a total upper. Now I have to recount. That's a big one. I didn't even know that one was here. Literally on film, I discovered this one. Wow, how could I have missed that? It's just buried right just perfectly. That's really cool. I have more sunflowers over here, and something that's going bad. Tomatillo. What a pain in the butt. I mean, I love salsa verde, but I'm just gonna buy it. I'm not growing this freaking plant again. Tomatillo. It gets so big, and then it toppled over, and now it's crushing everything else. Never again will I grow tomatillos. Never again. I have a purple type and a green type. They're both pain in the butts. I'm never growing them again. Nothing else. There's a ground cherry over here, very similar. Oh, this one's right. I can show you this one. These are delicious. So it looks like a tomatillo, right? Where it comes in this husk. And these are also related. These are Solanaceae, so it's related to tomatoes and eggplants and potatoes and lots of stuff. Then it produces this little thing that still looks like an unripe tomato, but this is a pineapple. I forget the variety of this one, but these are sweet and delicious. Oh man. Oh man. So I will probably grow that ground cherry again because it's not unwieldy crazy, but definitely not going to grow tomatillo again. See, 2 or 3 hot days in a row. That's the thing with growing in pots, and they start to wilt. I have to take care of this guy. Acorn squash, you can see there, that's a winter squash. Lemongrass. Here's the first sun gold I started this summer. So this one's already almost dead because this was the first plant we were harvesting from early on. Another tomato, 3 different types of shiso, purple, green, and then one that's purple and green. God, these poor babies need water. I'll have to water these after this video. Lightning lettuce. I have a pomegranate bush, dwarf avocado, mandarin tree. This one is a lemon squash, a summer squash. I don't like it. None of us like it in this household, so we're not going to grow that one again. These are delicious. This is good view because you see a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are honey nut squash. That's one of our favorite winter squash. And then I have another plant. So this is a cattle panel going over there to another honey nut squash with another handful. You can see them right over there. I can see them from here. Let's keep going this way. Oh, right there. Look. This one's on the black raven zucchini summer squash. Here's the cucamelon. This thing. Oh, look how fat these ones are. I'm gonna harvest that. A couple of these. These are cucamelon. It's a Mexican sour gherkin. I don't think it's in the same exact family as cucumbers. I don't know what family it is, but they're pretty tasty. And they look cool. But I also won't grow it again. It's not good enough for what I want. Oh, I meant to stake this poor tomato. This is a late season tomato. I have 3 different types of sweet potato. 2 I bought from online, cool varieties online, and 1 I started from slips. Here's another squash. Look at those. Good squash. More squash than we can eat. This poor wilting thing is Jerusalem artichoke, also called sunchoke, also 9 or 10 feet tall. More tomatoes. More tomatoes, more tomatoes. Pumpkins. I'll show you the pumpkins we got. These ones are for my little girl. Well, they're all for everyone, but Jack the Little variety. These ones are just about done. The stem is drying out and turning brown. But he's growing a whole second batch. Look, those are all pumpkin. Isn't that crazy? Can you see all this? Those are clearly all not going to go, but that's pretty dope. Let me show you the big pumpkin. The sugar pumpkin. This one's going to be for curry or for pie or something like that. We like pumpkin all sorts of ways. Keep it in this bait net so critters don't get to it. Look how pretty that is. This thing's 6 pounds, 10 pounds. I'm so excited about that one. Harvest it when the stem turns brown and the stem is still green. So, oh no. Oh, pumpkin just fell over, but it just lost its spot on the trellis, but that's okay. Oh, nope, that broke. All right, so this one's coming in with me. That's okay. I think it's just about done anyway. Let's cover this up. No, a rat will get in there at the last minute and make me want to go crazy. Figs over here, it's getting overgrown with weeds, but there's 2 figs over here in 5-gallon pots, maybe just 3-gallon pots. These are clones that I made from cuttings, and it's loaded with figs. That little baby's loaded with figs. What else? What else? Look how beautiful that is from this angle. Some other noteworthy things. Here's more of those fire pits. I have a blueberry bush in each of these. There are 2 peach trees underneath here. The deer love tree leaves, so I have to hide it from the deer. All of this grass over here, these are native, this is a native rye. Oh, look, the sage is doing really well. This is white sage. I haven't been over here in a minute. Oh, that's really great. I love white sage. That actually looks like milkweed. So this is white sage, this is milkweed, this is showy milkweed. This whole area is going to be my native plot besides the blueberries and the peaches. So like there's native lupine, these are native grasses, native sage, yarrow, that should have been deadheaded, all sorts of native plants back here. There's more sage. I should come back here more often. Couple espalier apple trees that I've been neglecting that need to find a home. Here's our Meyer lemon tree. I planted 2 rows of adorable sunflowers right here. 2 rows, 3 different types. So this row is skyscraper that's not quite blooming yet. I'll show you that. The other row is mostly chocolate cherry. Oh no, a critter took my big beautiful one. Look at that, eating right off. That was probably a squirrel. That's what it's supposed to look like. Little stinkers. Let me show you this pretty one. I'll look at the background. Stinkers. There was a big beautiful head on there just yesterday. Darn it. Oh well. Here's the other ones that are blooming. A bunch of these. Silver dollar, gold coin. I actually don't remember the name of this one. Yeah, and then skyscraper is not quite blooming. Let's just show you all in one breath. Whoa! If I don't slide and kill myself. I special ordered a bunch of comfrey. I want to have a comfrey patch over here for composting because it retains lots of cool minerals. Excuse me. Under the net, again for deer, I have a couple different types of. This one's a nectarine tree. That one is an apricot tree that I actually grew from a pit, just like the pit you get in your apricots. 2 different types of milkweed, showy milkweed. What's the other one? The other kind, narrow leaf milkweed for the monarchs. More fruit trees. I have 3 different types of fig. I forget which is which, but they're all labeled underneath there. A Santa Rosa plum that is outgrowing the net that I really need to trim. Spots for a couple more things. That's it. Pretty dope. Very grateful for the new space I have.